thank you so much for being here. I heard you guys, ladies, lady guy, whatever, music singers, performing earlier, warming up. I mean, I actually thought like it was a CD playing. So
thank you.
Yeah, come on now. First off, how do you guys come up with the band names?
That is
Melinda.
Melinda Packer, who created the group.
I think we were just kind of like myself and our co-founder, one of my best friends. We were just like hanging out, kind of brainstorming good a cappella name ideas. So we were thinking of a play on like pitch or sharp or something, maybe not flat, but we settled on sharp, and then we were just like kind of came up with the name Sharp Attitude from there, and it just like felt so right. As soon as one of us said it, we were just like, that's it.
Here you go. How do people, actually no, let me rephrase that. With Glee being such a massive hit, obviously, for so many seasons, do people just assume that you guys are the female version of what we saw in Glee?
It's more so Pitch Perfect. Yeah.
Oh, Pitch Perfect.
We get a lot
Glee
of
too, though.
That a lot.
I mean, we like to say that that's our life. I mean, Pitch Perfect is like such an exaggeration, but it's so funny. It's one of our favorite movies to watch together. I mean, this is more real life. This is more hard work. It doesn't all come together as quickly as it did for them. And all-female groups aren't always seen the way that the girls from Pitch Perfect are, so it's tough.
How did each of you get involved in a cappella?
I just auditioned. So there's about 9 a cappella groups at UMass, huge. And when I came to UMass as a freshman, I thought there was only one group. So I went to that group's audition, and one of the girls from Sharp Attitude was like, hey, if you're a girl, you like to sing, come upstairs and audition. And I did, and I got in, and it was the best decision of my life. So that's my little story.
What did you sing?
I sang Grenade by Bruno Mars, and I've never...
your audition sang.
Yeah, I've honestly never been told that I was a singer, and until that audition, like, Sharp Attitude made me feel so confident and, like, accepted as a performer, and, like, that audition was, like, one of the best moments of my life.
And she's the best singer we have.
Really?
Yeah. You'll see her.
That's a high compliment.
Best one.
Star.
And Grenade is a really hard song to perform, I imagine, on with a band, but especially on your own.
Definitely.
Not for her.
And what about you?
So I actually, my sophomore year of college, Archie was my RA, and I was at a floor meeting, and she's like, oh, like I'm in an a cappella group. If anyone sings, and my roommate's like, hey, that's you. So I was like, okay. And I went to the auditions, and I walk into the room, and I was planning on going to other auditions for the other groups after, but as soon as I walked in the room, all the girls were like, hey, like, what's up? And I was like, okay, like, I'm auditioning for this. If I don't get in, whatever, but this is the only group I want to be in, so they really drew me in, so thanks, Arch.
And Archie, the RA, what was your involvement?
So I came into UMass, and I was in another a cappella group. I didn't audition for Sharp Attitude, I auditioned for a co-ed group, and I got into their group, and after a little bit, I left that group. I remember like being in that group and watching Sharp Attitude on the stage and being like, they have so much fun. Like, they are just what I want to be in. And so I came to Sharp Attitude.
I had to convince Archie a little bit to audition.
Yeah,
too.
but
And it's so funny because we've actually competed against Archie like 3 years ago, and now she's in our group, and it's just so funny.
You guys are obviously slated on stage because I'm here.
Yeah, I think for me, I've been doing musical theater and music like all my life. I did it all throughout high school. And then when I came to college, I was like, oh, there's not really like an outlet for me to continue doing it, which was really disappointing. And the more I went through my freshman year, the more I was like, there's just something missing. Like, I'm just not myself. And so I was like, I think I need to get back into singing. And so I had also auditioned for a few other co-ed groups. And it just wasn't clicking. And then Archie finally grabbed me and was like, hey, I'm auditioning for this all-girl group. Like, I don't know what it's going to be like, but just come with me. And it was just like last minute, like warmed up in the classroom next door and was like, good to go. So, yeah, I guess I just kind of fell into it. I don't know.
Archie's a little recruiter. She's our
top recruiter. You're like the team captain.
I didn't know you brought Jeff.
Kind of. Yeah, I'm like always plugging Sharp Attitude everywhere I go.
I taught her well.
Well, I mean, I had just transferred to UMass as a sophomore, and I had seen Sharp Attitude. One of my friends used to be in Sharp Attitude, and so I was like, oh, you know, a new all-female a cappella group. I've never done a cappella before, so let me try it now. And so I had emailed them, and then I think Archie responded. But then...
the team captain.
So cute.
And then I was looking for them at like the activities fair, and I found another a cappella group, and I was like, do you know where Sharp Attitude is? And they were like, we'll only tell you if you sign up for ours. And I was like, okay, I'll sign up for the audition, but I'm not gonna go. So I only ended up auditioning for Sharp Attitude, and they surprised me at like midnight telling me I got in, which was fun.
So I started beatboxing when I was in high school, and I got really into it, but I didn't really know about a cappella, and I wasn't like exposed to the a cappella world until I got to college, and I actually joined a Jewish a cappella group. First group I was in, and then I met my friend Alyssa in this group, and we realized, you know, there's a lot of a cappella at UMass, but there's no all-female group, and we thought that should change immediately. So we started Sharp Attitude, and it's just kind of grown to be something that we never expected. 5 years later, it's pretty awesome.
I'm really curious, for you guys, what either artist or song is the most difficult to perform?
I mean, I would say this past semester we took on Beyonce, and that was difficult.
You
for
can't
sure.
do Beyonce if you like can't nail it. Like if you
We were like, we just don't
don't
know
do
if
her
we can do
justice,
this.
like take that off your repertoire.
Yeah, performing
The Beehive
Beyonce.
will come after you, so you don't want to be victimized by the Beehive.
Hopefully we do her justice today.
Performing
We
Beyonce is
sang-
definitely a feat.
It definitely is. Beyonce is amazing. We sang we like other girl groups, so we sang DNA by Little Mix, and like I arranged the song for this group, and I was like, this is gonna be tough. These girls sat down and they learned the song in 3 hours, and it was like we do effects, like kind of do like warped effects and like kind of like a robotic kind of thing. And then from there we go to this otherworldly like ballad. So switching the emotion from the like machine song to this song, and then to the song that we're gonna perform for you guys today, Deja Vu, which is like jazzy and fun, is so difficult. But these girls, like, we nail it every single time.
Now, how competitive is the a cappella world?
More competitive than you think.
I saw by your facial expression, you're like,
There's a lot
yeah.
of like aka drama, and like I swear I talk about acapella so much and people just don't get it. I'm like, it's really cool, it's like really intense. Everyone's just like, it's like, no. And then you go to a competition and it's, oh my gosh, the craziest atmosphere ever.
It's really competitive, but what I love about the a cappella world is it's also like so loving and accepting, and everybody can just be united over the fact that we just love singing and love music. But in competition settings, it does get a little intense. But it comes from a place of love. Like
judging from the show, it seems
you'll see
it's
pretty
like,
intense.
yeah, you don't want to
Lots
mess
of
with
tears.
these guys.
All tears are real.
I mean, even on campus though, like there's probably 9 different groups, and everyone's so supportive. Like we go to each other's like winter concerts and everything. But I mean, there always is that competitive edge. I mean, we're in the same categories for ICCA, but yeah, when it comes down to it, like we're definitely all in the audience cheering each other on. So that's fun too.
Do you guys ever listen to music just for enjoyment, or do you automatically, when you hear a new song, think to yourselves, oh, this would work for a performance?
All of the above.
You should hear us in a car together.
It's not
we
You don't want to be on road trips.
Yeah, obviously we love listening to music, but then when we're in like the cars together going to concerts, people will play their music and you hear like 5 harmonies come out, like Melinda starts beatboxing, like it's
You hear a little
it's-
ja-na-na-na, and you're like, okay, that girl does acapella, because no one else is going to sing a ja-na-na-na song.
I imagine so, yeah. What pre-show rituals do you guys have? Actually, no. Make that pre-competition rituals.
Are we allowed to curse? Yeah. So, one of our members started this thing a couple years ago. We put our left hand in, and actually Marguerite added this new amendment. We also put our right hand
Right
out.
hands up.
And we're all in the middle, and right before we go on stage, we say, you guys want to do it?
Ready?
One,
2, 3.
fuck bitches, get money! And then we go on stage.
But if we're backstage, we're like, fuck, bitches got money.
it's classy,
At like
you know?
elementary schools, we're like,
We mouth it when we're at schools. It's like our power mantra. Like makes us like get in the zone. We're just like, yes.
Which one of you gets the most nervous?
Sam.
I definitely psych myself out, I think, the most, because I just like, you don't want to be the person that ruins it for the group. So
Ever ruin it for the
But then you see Sam on stage and you're like, that girl's not nervous at all.
would
Like,
never
but literally,
know.
like,
would never know.
before I go on stage, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to throw up everywhere. I'm gonna ruin it for the
Sam will
group.
come up to me and be
And then
like,
I'm
I
like-
can't do this. I can't do this. Like,
I
it's okay.
quit. What do you think is the biggest misconception about a cappella? Because just judging from the show, you guys work your asses off.
That it's not hard.
It's very, very hard.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing. We dance around the stage, we do really intense choreo, and we're singing. And people don't understand that singing takes a lot of work and breath control. And people don't understand that it's like actually hard to breathe sometimes.
And
It's
to sing in these
class.
heels.
Like people treat a cappella like a class. We put in hours and hours every week of work, inside, outside rehearsal. And I mean, like, look at the heels that they're wearing. Like wearing these heels, dancing around the stage, doing the choreography we do. It's intense.
What's your favorite song to perform?
Oh my goodness.
All of them.
DNA is our showstopper, and unfortunately we're not performing it today because we're missing so many members. But that song is like, I just feel so powerful when I do that, and I feel really bad that I just said that. And then
I love performing Boy.
always fun.
Boy is such a jam.
Yeah.
Our whole
I agree with that.
ICCA set too is very like important to all of us. So
And are you going to tell me who won?
We can't spoil that. I'm so sorry.
You have to watch.
Have to watch.
And now for our audience, we have time for a few questions, please.
Collectively speaking, do you know how to choose a song, or do you vote on which song to choose when you sing?
Oh, that's a great question.
So for our ICCA set, it's kind of a different process. Like usually we'll just be like, oh, hey, I heard this song, like we should do it. And either like we pounce on it or we like forget about it. And then like 20 minutes later, we're like, we should do that song. For our ICCA set, we all sat down and brainstormed. So we were like, usually it's like an upbeat song, a ballad, and then a showstopper. And, you know, we kind of strayed from that a little bit, but we still had everything, you know, pretty similar to that. And Michaela sat down and suggested What Is Love. She contributed that to the table, and that is our like amazing ballad that we do. And then DNA was suggested by Sam, which is our showstopper. Like that is the best song that we have. And Deja Vu, I think, was like a collaboration of a bunch of people's ideas. And we kind of even think about how we want to arrange songs. Like someone will say, like in DNA, we do a show-stopping moment where everyone just drops and Melinda has a beatbox solo. That was all Sam's idea. So it's kind of a collaborative effect.
it's a long process for the ICCAs. It's a lot of thought. We spent like weeks trying to figure out like, is this song good? Like, does it go with this song?
So you want to create a theme, essentially,
A whole
that you can
storyline
connect.
or-
Yeah, storyline.
Yeah.
And like, can we do it justice? Like, that's a big one too. It's like, you're gonna take on a huge song, you better kill it. I don't know.
Yeah, I imagine you want it to be either on par or better than the original, or bring something new to it. And a last question, please.
Hey girls, I love this show. I watched it religiously last summer. I'm not even kidding. So I'm wondering if you guys watched it and if what you of course, what you learned from the Nor'easters and NOCO and all the other teams that you, I guess, applied to your journey.
Yeah, I think you said the Nor'easters first. So we have to talk
We're
about that.
fangirls.
We're
Love
huge
them.
fangirls of the Nor'easters. I think like I really just take away from them how emotional they are. Like their performances are filled with so much passion and so much emotion. So we really try and embody that in our performances.
They've always been like a huge role model for
Always,
us. Like
for years.
before Sing It On, and then seeing them on the show, we were so proud. And then to be on the show, and they supported us. You know, they reached out to us. Was like we freaked out, and we actually performed at one of their showcases called Boner.
It was amazing.
Best of the Northeast region.
That was
They're also
so
really
cool.
punny.
It was on the show
Their
last
idea.
year, and they reached out to us this year and asked us to sing, and
Such
we were
an
like,
honor.
what?
They're like, are you sure?
You guys are like amazing. And we got to share the stage with them, and that was so special. Yeah. So we definitely take away the dedication. I mean, they get up on stage and they just pour their souls out on stage, and they're amazing. So we
And like from last season, like NOCO is like really fun. So
And
we try and
Yahtzee's so fun.
Yeah, and Yahtzee is really fun. And like they were all great, like the acapellas.
And they're like
too.
traditional, and then there's Pitch Please, who is like
Yeah.
we've done shows with Pitch Please as well. They're
There's
similar
something
to
to
us,
learn
like girl
from every
power.
group. Totally.
And guys, stick around for an amazing show-stopping, sorry, had to use that, performance from Sharper Attitude. Thank you so much for being here.